Hey, it's your girl KV back with another review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 19, reunion part 2. So, backstory, y'all. Sunday, I cooked a big dinner. My mom and I, we take turns cooking Sunday dinner every week. It's always at her house. She has the more hosting like ability types house. Always over there, but I'll bring food or she cooks. This lady wanted oxtails, right? And me, I make my oxtails Jamaican style. So I'm like, if I'm making oxtails, I'm gonna want rice and peas, cabbage, and mac and cheese. And then on top of that, my husband is vegan. He vegan, y'all. So when we go to the Jamaican restaurant where I get my oxtails, jerk chicken, cabbage, and mac and cheese, he gets curry chickpeas. So I had to look up a recipe to make some curry chickpeas for my husband, y'all. So yeah, I made oxtails, mac and cheese, cabbages, curry chickpeas, and some plantains for Sunday dinner. So as we sitting here watching this reunion, I'm dozing off. I'm drifting, y'all. And I'm like, dang, is it because I'm tired from cooking? And no, baby, it just wasn't giving like that. You know, it had its moments. It wasn't boring per se, but it was just real like, oh, I thought we were getting the guys. The guys aren't coming out. You tease the guys. They're not coming out yet. More of this. Oh, okay. So that was what it was given, right? But all right, we start where we left off. Angela is still hollering that Phaedra wanted to take her down to secure her spot. Angela, baby, your receipts already kind of fell flat, and now you really flat, off, looking goofy, talking about Phaedra trying to secure her spot. Before Phaedra even said it, I was like, baby, Phaedra's spot is secured. She said, I have my guaranteed contract. Girl, Phaedra came in the last 2 weeks and they edited her in that picture holding one of them peaches. She ain't filmed but for 14 days with y'all and got up on there as if she gonna be there the whole season. We got a good 3-4 episodes with Phaedra. She's good. You worry about securing your spot, Angela. And this, I like Angela. It was just goofy of her to say that. Then once they kind of, it's even Andy. I can't remember if Andy even said something like, "Oh yeah, she's guaranteed." Where's my notepad, y'all? I need my notepad. Yeah, Phaedra's good. Phaedra's good, right? So then Phaedra starts deflecting and getting on Portia. Because she's like, now, Portia, why would you even trust Phaedra and believe Phaedra when she done led you down a dark path on this very stage before? Of course, she's referring to Phaedra and the U7 when it comes to Candy was allegedly going to do this mess to Portia. It was started from Phaedra and allegedly Carlos King. That's the word on the curb. But you never know. But I feel like he stopped working there after that, didn't it? Interesting, right? So yeah, y'all, that's what she's referring to. And then they're asking her like, well, what reason would she have to set you up and bring this Marcus in here to say that, you know, your husband be cheating? She says, well, Phaedra is a self-producer. I said, well, she ain't lying there. And she says, you know, she's always lying about something. She always making stuff up because she don't really know Charles. And Phaedra starts arguing her down like, girl, yes, I do know Charles and da-da-da-da. And she's like, he don't know you. He don't know you. And we see Charles later on like, girl, I don't know you. For you to be trying to say, you know, I'm cheating on my wife and all that, girl, I don't know you. Which, both things can be true. Phaedra could have been in one of your friend groups. She could have been on the outskirts of one of your friend groups and seen you hugged up on some woman. But you don't really know her like that. But she like, oh, but I know you. So I see both sides. So Phaedra is trying to defend this whole Marcus association. She don't know him. Portia, give me your phone. Give me your phone. I'm finna call my brother and clear all of this up. So she calls her brother and she's like, hey, we recording. We at the reunion. This is recorded. I got you on speaker. And I'm like, well, of course, if that's how you starting it off, which I mean, fair. If that's how you starting it off, he just gonna agree with whatever you're saying. So then she's just like, oh, so do you know this Kim, this Marcus, and da da da? I don't know her. They said it's your Facebook friend. I got a million Facebook friends. I don't know that lady. And so they hang up the phone and Angela is still going at Phaedra. She's like, yeah, and when was, I think she said the NBA night. When we did the NBA night, one of Phaedra's people, she was with Phaedra and she walked over to me and said, yeah, I'm the one with the hands. I'm the one with the hands. And Drew was like, ooh, what they did say she the Godfather, huh? Andy was immensely confused. The hands, what are the hands? I don't, she's got the hands, I don't, what are the hands? Yeah, I could not get past that. Andy was dumbfounded. What are the hands? Are they special hands? Are they literal hands? Andy was so dumbfounded, y'all. I was weak. Meanwhile, everyone's just chiming in on if they think Angela set this up herself, or it could be Kelly because it was her event. She had the guest list and boom, 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 boom. Angela is still 10 toes down on Phaedra. You did this. You gave me his information. You told me his name and where he worked. I said, ooh, wait a minute. That is kind of sketchy though. That is kind of sketchy. And Phaedra was like, because he introduced himself to me. And he's like, let's move on. Ladies, we're not going to resolve this. Let's just move on. I said, wait, it's just not getting good. What you mean, let's move on? The bias. You can cut it with a knife. Oh my God, it's so thick. So at this point, Kelly pipes up to call Angela out for a comment that she made on the after show, where she claimed, so on the after show, Angela said that Kelly came up to her and was like, hey girl, your marriage is just like mine. You gonna end up just like me, yada, yada, yada. Kelly claims that she ain't say that. They do a flashback. They do a flashback. And it's like she at the Bailey Q. And she's basically like, girl, see, I resonate with you the most. And I just pray that you don't end up like me and your marriage don't end up like mine. I said, well, baby, that's yeah, that checks out. But she's standing on, she never compared the marriages, but she don't remember saying that. But if she did, she apologizes. I said, Kelly is so convenient. Kelly pulls a Eva. Eva could never remember nothing, but at least Eva had the excuse of always being pregnant. At least she had pregnancy bearing to be forgetting everything. Kelly is just like, oh, okay, girl. All right. Next, we get a listener question about Angela's age. And Angela pulls out her birth certificate in her manila envelope with them flat reads and flat receipts of Facebook friends. She also had her birth certificate. And so Andy's like, yeah, 1981. Angela Dion. You guys know her middle name's Dion. And so they bring up how Phaedra said she looked old. Angela told her, well, girl, you was a little busted when you came on the show, so you be not the one to talk. And I'm like, thank you. Deaconess Phaedra talking about somebody looking old when she came on the show at 35 looking 50. It's like, can we not? And Angela told her, if I look 53, you look 63. Exactly. Because Phaedra looked good, but it's like you can tell she old and had work done look good. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is basically Angela's little 100 questions, rapid fire for Angela. Let's go. I said, dang, this is her whole little segment, huh? It ain't even a package. It's just, here go the questions that everybody asking, questions that need answer, Angela edition. So let's talk about the nose. Shamia clowned your nose, said it's a 90s nose. Charles got this nose. It's a 2017 nose. Okay, girl, you be hot all the time. It ain't because you the hottest in the room. You sure you're not perimenopausal? You know what? I am perimenopausal. Girl, ain't nothing wrong with that. We all gotta go through that. We all gotta go through that, y'all. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I like that. I could appreciate them, like, you know, being real women at this point, because y'all all the same age. Even though she not as old as y'all thought she was, she's still y'all age range. So she says that she's starting a fan line. And they're like, yeah, because you always had a fan, girl. Always had a fan. They talk about her daughter getting married. Andy asks her, you know, why were you upset about your daughter getting married? Did it have anything to do about her sexuality? How did you feel about her sexuality? And she's like, no, it had nothing to do with her sexuality. I knew what that was from jump. Like, I knew when she wasn't interested in boys. I knew what it was. But it's just that she's 23. She don't need to be getting married at no 23. I don't care about her sexuality. And then she talks about how she talked to Cynthia about that, since Noelle, Cynthia's daughter, is also fluid and dates women. So they've had conversations about how they can parent their children in the best ways, knowing this, yada, yada, yada. She says that she was paying over $100,000 a month on them properties because she had 5 different properties she was trying to fix up and sell. And I think she only sold 1, maybe 2, and the others went into foreclosure. So she didn't really make no profit. She definitely didn't make no profit overall, and was spending like probably down there in Atlanta, 5 houses, $250K on maintenance, trying to fix up these houses each month. You paying out rent and utilities and water and gas and stuff for these properties. Spend on that $200,000 a month. So yeah, Charles, if I was Charles, I would have cut the pocket strings on that too. Cause girl, it don't matter if it is your money and you earn money too. This is just stupid. This is just stupid because you're trying to prove a point. To who? The bank account? The mortgage? Because you're going to lose this house too if you don't have the money to pay for it. So anywho, they talk about her mom passing away. That really cut her deep, of course, because her mom wanted to be on the show to be a voice for bipolar disorder. So that was just kind of like, dang, you know, a moment. And then they asked her if she thinks that Drew had her back. She was like, nope. Even in the finale, nope, she left. Drew was like, I was there every step of the way. They were like, nah, but you disappeared. She's like, when I disappeared, it was to go get him. It was to go get Marcus. But she does apologize if it came off if she wasn't supporting her, because she did have a lot going on in her own personal life. So she's not above critique on her being an absent friend type deal, or a not as present friend. So Cynthia's just like, yeah, Angela, you was lapdogging and Drew wasn't giving you the same energy. I said essentially like Shamia and Portia. And as I said that, Shamia cuts in. Shamia cuts in and she's like, so y'all giving her grace for being a lapdog and running and fighting all of her battles when I did the same and you didn't give me any grace. You actually caused turmoil in my friendship with Portia. And everybody's just like, yeah, moving on. So they asked Phaedra about Marriage and Medicine. She didn't go to that reunion. She was basically like, I don't really mess with them folks like that. They ain't appreciate me like that, and they second tier anyway. I'm a housewife. I was just over there fool-la-la with them for a little second, okay? Bye. She talked about how she was trying to be a big sister to Britt, and Portia pointed out, like, yeah, I thought it was odd. It was kind of crazy seeing that happen on film with you coaching her to what to do better on film. And Phaedra basically was like, baby, it was a do or die moment, because Britt was digging a hole for herself. Because this is when they was in Grenada, and she told her that she need to present herself more friendly. And Britt was like, oh, so be more fake. No, girl, but if you want to hang out with this group of girls, you can't come in guns blazing at all times. Like, make it make sense here. So then They were like, well, meanwhile, Brit was trying to amp up the Phaedra and Shamea beef to Shamea. So they have a listener question, because you know the Phaedra and Shamea beef is when Phaedra was saying to Sheree with Portia at the table that Shamea be sleeping with Candy and Ty, y'all. That's the Shamea and Phaedra. She was whispering like the cameras weren't there and the mics couldn't pick up. I gotta go find that scene. Portia just sitting there like, What a mess, y'all. Shamea acts like she's over it. It's been so long, and you know, it's just, it doesn't bother me, and da-da-da. And Angela and Cynthia both pipe up like, no, but you brought it up at the such and such event. So clearly it bothers you while you trying to talk all unbothered. You acting all unbothered when you in the streets talking cash, SHIT, to other people and in interviews. And that's what's annoying about Shamea, because it's like, if I do wrong, come tell me first. If I don't adjust and fix it or address your needs, then go dog me out. Then go tell people that I disappointed you. But if you don't even come to me and tell me that I did something wrong or I wasn't present for you in some type of way, how I'm supposed to know, baby? That's a one-sided beef. You mad at yourself. You mad at yourself because you don't know how to voice your concerns, your complaints, and your needs. So that's my thing about Shamea, where it's like, I see. I see. All these years we thought Portia was a terrible person and friend. It's like, no, y'all terrible friends to each other, it seems. It just seems like, as they went on to describe the relationship, it seems like a relationship out of convenience. Yeah, they were friends when they were little, when college, not college, but high school or middle school or whatever, but they didn't grow as friends all throughout life. I think Shamea said that they lost touch when she went to college. And then around the time Portia was getting married to Cordell is when they linked back up. So let's say a year or two before Portia came on Housewives is when her and Shamea really linked back up to be grown-up friends. So I'm like, I can see that. And then it probably just made the friendship all that more convenient when Portia got on TV and Shamea might want to be on TV too. That's what it gives, right? So I'm just like, whew, these girls are exhausting. They're exhausting. So they feel the same. They break for lunch, 45 minutes. We see all the girls go into their room. Shamea's there is some flowers. Gerald sends some flowers. I say, yeah, because he damn sure not coming to this reunion. He ain't gonna film. He ain't gonna, all we seen is that FaceTime. All we seen is that FaceTime of Gerald. We don't never see him in person, y'all. So of course he wasn't gonna be on this stage. We see a random tender moment between Charles and Angela. They hyping each other up, having a little moment. He goes in and gives her a hug and everything. I'm like, see, he doesn't hate the woman. He's just a grumpy old man. You know, if he faithful or not, that's their business. But he don't hate his wife. He's just a grumpy old man. So we see them have that moment. And we see Dennis is there for Portia. I said, oh, okay. Angela walks in on Kelly and Shamea. And Shamea admits to trying to start a new girl alliance with Britt and Kelly, but she was trying to put Portia in it too. They all sitting there like, that don't make no sense, but okay. Angela's like, why couldn't I get in the new girl alliance? Because it was a young girl alliance when you know how old she was. Type deal. They still can't believe that Britt is not there, okay? We see Dennis walk in on Ralph, and Ralph is in there getting a haircut. Stuff like that be so annoying because it's like, you gotta come to set and get a haircut. You couldn't get your haircut before, the day before you got there. Because I'm sure you ain't had to be there till like 11, 12 o'clock. So you couldn't get the haircut before you had to. All right. So Dennis and Ralph sitting here talking. Ralph asked Dennis, you know, how's Drew in the studio? Like, how does that work or whatever? Dennis said, man, she talented. She talented, man. And then Ralph is like, man, I just didn't know that the album was going to be about me. Dennis said, don't take it personal, you know. But she used to, you know, take a picture of you and put it in the booth and sing her emotions out to it. But don't take it personal. Ralph like, word. I said we can tell because I feel the emotions in that album. I like that album. It's really good. Really good album, y'all. So they get to Britt and Kenya's post because they both made different posts. Britt that she's leaving the show. Kenya that, you know, she apologizes and she'll be back next season. Andy basically is like, yeah. He doesn't say, yeah, we'll see Kenya back next season, but he definitely doesn't say that he's not. Because we know Andy messy self will be like, yeah, we'll see about that. If that were the case, right? So he asked them about the Britt and Kenya situation. They play it back. Do y'all feel like it was some spiciness? Was Kenya trying to give it to her? Everybody says no. No, she wasn't. It wasn't that at all. Only Britt felt that way. Listener question, Cynthia, why you got so much grace for Britt and telling everybody to back off of Britt from the Peace Brunch, but you don't have that same sympathy for Kenya? You rather chastise her on camera in public type deal. She was just like, I never said that she couldn't respond. I said I just don't like the way she did. I think she was above that. Portia is chiming in on Kenya's behalf. Womp, womp, womp. Kenya this, Kenya that, this, that, and the third. Okay, girl. And then Portia in there says that Kenya said that another housewife gave her information. At first, they just kind of let this glaze on by. But somebody ends up being like, who? You said a housewife gave her information? Who? I'm an owl. If you know, you know. So, who gave her the information? Well, it was Drew. Drew doesn't necessarily say that it wasn't her, but she's just like appalled. Like, who? Why would you go and say my name? See, I just hate for my name to get brought up on stuff. Da, 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 da. And then Portia goes on this diatribe of how the events went down and how Drew must have been the mole, must have been the leak, yada, yada, yada. Cynthia reveals that Kenya has not talked to her since that day. Okay, done with her. I'm finished. Okay. Shamia package. They show her journey with Portia, her surrogacy journey. They highlight how Britt kind of came at her motherhood and asked, did you see your daughter? Did you go see your daughter when you was popping shots in Miami with Kelly? Did you go see your daughter? Is your daughter even really sick? Okay, she's like, don't play with my parents because I'm her mama. And she can get anything she wants. Okay, she talks about how the surrogate that they showed on TV, the embryos didn't take, so they can find another one, and they're gonna try the last few rounds on the next one. They asked her about this, like, do you have to give him a son? So, like, is that in the paperwork? Like, girl, what's going on? She's like, no, I just want to give him a son, being a good wife, because I know he wants a son and he gives me everything I want. It's not like he gonna divorce me if I can't. So they asked her why she been comparing her songs to Drew and why she beefing with Drew. She said, well, Drew called me a lapdog. Okay, well, Drew called you a lapdog in response of you coming for her. So just say that you were being a lapdog for Portia and you were carrying out her battles and her bones. And then when Drew clapped back and said, you mad at me for her? It's giving lapdog. Now you're like, oh, I've got the ammo. I need to really come at her neck. Because when Shamia went on that radio station to promote her own song and was talking smack about Drew, I was like, baby, you lose the plot. You lose the plot so much. You're here to talk about your music. You coming for Shamia's, you coming for Drew's music. Drew doing more. Drew got an album and it's good and it's charting, right? Came for her music over and over again. And since we're talking about Shamia losing the plot, like I said, she's not even cool with Portia no more, but she's still carrying out this beef with Drew. Portia just apologized for the beef that she started with Drew. That should have been, you should have lapdog and followed along and just said, you know what, Drew, it was petty. Let's just drop it. You ain't even got to admit that you lapdogged it, even though we all can see it with our two eyes. You ain't even got to admit it. But just drop the beef. For her to be carrying on the beef when Portia literally just apologized to this girl, it's giving mindless. It's giving mindless. So The purse issue. This is where Drew is, where Shamea has completely lost the plot. And Drew is like this the whole reunion because they got her at the edge of the couch, but she the center of dang near everybody's storyline. So she got to do this to holler at everybody all reunion long. Andy's so wrong. She should have been second seat at the farthest. At the farthest. So the purse issues. Shamea is saying that Drew's Judith Lieber bag was fake. It was a fake. And Shamea is so corny that she has went so far as to buy the fake Judith Lieber knockoff. I think she said it was like an Akira brand. It's $160. This is the bag that Drew has. The real Lieber bag is $6,000. And she's got the fake bag. And I'm like, why are we doing this? Why would you buy this? Why would you bring it to reunion? What was this supposed to prove? Her bag is not even present for us to compare and contrast. So her bringing this bag was just really like, okay. Okay, Drew was like, girl, I can post my receipts. Like, this is crazy. Portia's like, I take the bag. You can give me the fake bag. I take the bag. Shamea said, let's just see how the rest of this goes. Let's see how the day goes. So they go to Portia. Was Britt being messy when she was saying that Shamea showed her these text messages? Kelly claimed that she never saw the text messages. Portia said, yes, it was messy. So they like, well, let's put it all on the table when it comes to Portia and Shamea. We can tell that Shamea has been talking about Portia behind her back. Like, that is pretty evident. And I think Shamea thinks because she didn't do it on camera that we don't think it happened. So she could try to control that narrative. But it's like, girl, we can tell that there are side conversations because these girls be coming to the scenes with ammos and specific, oh, so yeah, you were sad that Portia didn't come to your wedding, right? It's giving y'all already discussed this. So yeah, so let's talk about all of it, right? So they talk about how Shamea was hurt that Portia didn't congratulate her for getting a peach. Shamea does correct it and says, I said she didn't celebrate me. I said she didn't celebrate me. Because Portia starts pulling receipts like, I sent you flowers and I did this. Don't say that I didn't congratulate you. And she pulls out a receipt from the ATL wedding that Shamea tries to play semantics with. Well, it wasn't a wedding. It was a such and such ceremony. She was present. She was present for one of your ceremonies / weddings, girl. You doing all this semantics is just, and they really argue semantics. Well, in Kenya, it's not a wedding. Well, in Nigeria, it's considered the American wedding. And they really going back and forth. And I'm like, it don't matter. She was there for one of them. She was being petty and didn't go out of her way to buy the expensive ticket for the one in Africa, but she was there for the American wedding. So don't try to make it like Portia was just so terrible. You feel me? So now all the ladies gets to chiming in on their friendship. Oh, well, this happened and this happened and this person felt this way. And yeah, we could tell that she felt this way. And it was just like, where are the men? Are the guys not coming out yet? I said they didn't even bring them out on the exit and screen on the outro scene. I thought the guys would be. The guys still ain't out, y'all. I said okay. Portia claims that Shamea is starting a smear campaign and has been carrying out this smear campaign, and I'm like, looks that way. But Shamea still. Even though she's trying to cause this smear campaign to get the people against Portia, if she gets Portia out of that spotlight, like, baby girl, you're still not equipped to be the it girl. And you're showing it this season and at this reunion. Like, you have all of the ingredients to be the it girl. You cute. You got a nice body. You're talented, you sing, you've got a husband, beautiful children, beautiful big home, all the ingredients to be the it girl on this type of show. And yet you cannot stand alone. You have to be paired with someone else. You need a big personality, a big energy to carry you. You went from Portia now to Kelly. You need that big energy to carry you. And I said this makes sense when you think about her music career. How she talked about she was in a group with Carrie Hilson, y'all. Carrie Hilson. So it's like seeing how you are in friendships and seeing you know, where you are compared to Carrie Hilson, it's seeming like I'm sure Carrie had to carry you. Carrie had to carry you. Type deal. So, you know, now she has the means to give it a shot, whether people gonna listen or not. But it's just like, I want Shamia to step into her it girl season. I'm sure she'll be back next season, and I want her to step into her it girl season. Just understand and believe that you are that big. Okay, you're that girl. Okay. I need her to know and believe that, like really believe it. So that's the end of this review, y'all. Make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, comment, let me know what y'all think about the video. I'm doing, well, this ain't got but one more episode, so we'll do the finale next week. I started doing, what did I do yesterday? Love and Marriage Huntsville yesterday. And I'll be doing Sisters on Thursday, episodes 1 and 2. Then I'll be sprinkling some book reviews amongst those as well. So it's amping back up to where it's like, whoo, okay, girl, I gotta really be in here getting these videos done. Yeah, I got my nails done, but I got them the same color as I had them. Because I forgot. I got my nails cut because they was too long and I thought I had cracked it. So when I went to get my pedicure, I had them take off my hard gel set that I had on. And then, so that was yesterday. So that's why in yesterday's video, I ain't have my nails done. But then today is where I went to my fingernail lady and she did my fingernails. I had to cut my nails all the way down, y'all. I'm about to be working on a computer and stuff. So I was like, okay, let's start from scratch so I know what's comfortable and can work with the comfort level, you know? But yes, y'all, that's it. Like, subscribe, and comment. Until the next one, bye-bye.